How to extend the life of your fish. Participate in the study and explanation of this topic. Drive. Pippa Elliott holds a Bachelor of Science in Veterinary Medicine and a member of the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons, with more than 30 years of experience in pet treatment. She graduated from the University of Glasgow in 1987 with a degree in veterinary medicine and surgery, then worked as a veterinary surgeon for 7 years before joining a veterinary clinic in her hometown, and has been working there for more than 20 years now. Adding an aquarium to your home can be very beautiful, though it can be difficult to keep the fish in good health. Even in the best of circumstances, fish need the utmost care from its owner. You have to take care of the quality of the aquarium water and not crowd the fish with the fish, in addition to note any changes that the fish goes through, as it may indicate disease. Comment, subscribe and activate the bell to receive all new and information about your favorite animal. Let's start. Part 1. Aquarium Preparation 1. Purchase a tank of at least 75 liters. You may think that large ponds require more effort to maintain them, but the opposite is true. Small ponds get dirty quickly and thus require more regular maintenance. The larger the tank, the better for you and the fish. You should know that 75 liters is the smallest tank size you can buy, and this tank will be small for many fish. For example, aggressive fish need a little room to avoid clashing with other fish. Consult a specialist to find the right size for your fish. You may have to install your sink. Follow the instructions on the box, as they vary from basin to basin. Make sure you have a sink cap. Many types of fish can jump out of the pool if not careful. Also, make sure you have a 12-hour light source. You will find a lamp attached to most aquariums, but this is not necessary. 2. Buy a filter and water heater for your tank. These supplies are necessary to maintain the proper temperature for water and purify waste. There are many types of filters, so be sure to purchase the right size for your tank. Avoid buying an underfilter if you use a subtle flooring type, such as sand. Some types of fish may be damaged by gravel floors and require that the floor of the pond be sand. The water heater is very important if you decide to raise tropical fish because it prefers warm water. 3. Purchase a stand that fits the size of the sink. You will need to put the sink on something, because most home furniture, including tables and desks, cannot stand the weight of a large sink. Purchase a stand that fits exactly the size of your basin to avoid catastrophe, sink to floor, and waste of money. Putting the sink on the floor is a bad idea, too. This will definitely cause a disaster, and in addition, you will not enjoy looking at the fish if it is at ground level. 4. Choose a safe place. You have to put the sink in a safe place and away from any drastic temperature changes such as windows, air conditioners, heaters, and vents. Also avoid uncomfortable places such as door entrances and busy roads. Try to find a place close to an electrical outlet and a water source to make things easier for yourself. You will also need some space around the sink to allow you to work on it if you need and help you notice it easily. 5. Buy water treatment supplies. Facilities that supply your home with water often disinfect the water using harmful chlorine for fish. Purchase a water test kit to determine if the water is safe for the fish. As an aquarium owner, you should always keep sodium thiosulfate solution for chlorine and amyl for chloramine. For more information on chemicals in water, ask at a pet store in your area or contact the company that supplies your home with water. 6. Spread the pelvic floor with a suitable floor and make hiding places for the fish. Gravel is one of the common floors used in ponds, but it can be dangerous for some types of fish that prefer sand. Aquarium decorations are also important because they act as a distraction for the fish so they don't clash with one another and even maintain the quality of the water in the aquarium. Aquarium accessories are important to a healthy fish. Since most ornamental fish are prey in their natural habitat, they will become uncomfortable. As for aggressive fish, they are less vulnerable to attack if they are provided with specific areas that they can consider their own. So, pond decorations are important to the health and activity of fish. Shelters up to 50 to 75% of the tank size are sufficient for most fish. Most fish enjoy any type of bunker, but some fish have preferences. Slow fish coming from a standing or slowly running water environment prefer flexible bunkers like plants. As for seas and rivers that run quickly, large solid bunkers are preferred. Place large decorations on both sides and back of the sink. The middle of the basin in this way becomes clear to see. You can also hide the wires and accessories that make the sink less attractive in this way. 7. Fill the sink. Tap water is sufficient, but it will need to be treated first. Fill the sink to the bottom with a small space left. You have to leave room for oxygen on the roof. Cover the tank to prevent fish from jumping outside. 8. Treat water. Often you will need to add sodium thiosulfate and amyl to your tank's water and test the water's pH. You can purchase some custom acids and alkalis from pet stores to set the pH of your tank's water. Test the pH and adjust it to fit fish. Different types of fish prefer different pH, so you need to know the requirements for each type. In general, the pH of 6.8 to 7.8 is healthy for fish. 9. Be sure to circulate the bowl water in the nitrogen cycle for 2 weeks. After treating the water, you must leave it long enough for its chemical composition to stabilize. During this period, closely monitor the properties of the water and treat the water if you notice it is not suitable for fish. Change 10% of the water every 2 days. Continue the cycle by changing 10% of the water every 2 days for 2 weeks after adding fish to the tank. Part 2. Add fish to the tank. 1. Make sure the sink doesn't get too crowded. The crowded pond gets dirty quickly and causes fish to clash with each other. Unfortunately, there is no clear indication of the rate at which the aquarium is crowded because different species of fish require different areas. Find your fish preferences and consult a specialist for help. As a rule, a 75-liter aquarium can accommodate 4 small fish or 2 large fish. 2. Make sure the fish are aligned. Some fish require different temperatures or different floors. Make sure that the fish you add to the tank prefer the same environmental properties. Some fish are hostile and incompatible with other fish as well. Aggressive behavior in fish is difficult to predict. However, aggressive fish will attack fish that are similar to them because they are believed to be of the same species and thus constitute a competitor in the mating season. 3. Allow the fish to acclimate to the water of the tank. Do not leave the fish in the bag you bought it in for more than 2 hours because the bag will fill up with waste quickly and it will become unhealthy for the fish. If you have some time, place the bag on the surface of the water for 15 minutes to allow the temperature of the bag water to equal the temperature of the tank water and the fish acclimatizes to the temperature of the tank. After this period has expired, dispose of 20% of the bag water and replace it with water from the sink and leave the bag for another 15 minutes. Finally, gently release the fish to the tank. You can repeat the process of replacing the bag water with the tank water more than once for the sensitive fish until most of the water in the bag becomes from the tank water. This process will allow the fish to adapt to the new water temperature and its chemical composition. Do not empty the dirty bag water in the tank because it is not healthy for fish. 4. Do not add more than 1 fish to a tank at a time. The aquarium filter will take some time to adjust to the changes that new fish will create in the water. Test the water quality continuously for 2 weeks from the time the fish are added and change 10% of the water every 2 days. Part 3. Aquarium maintenance. 1. Feed the fish regularly. The amount of food and the number of times you feed fish is highly dependent on its species. However, you should try to adapt the fish to eat at certain times of the day. Any amount of food more than fish can eat in 5 minutes is too much. Avoid overfeeding so that the tank does not get dirty quickly. 2. Clean the sink. Remove excess food daily from the sink and use a brush or scraper for algae to clean the glass of the tank. Also use a siphon to suck waste and residue from the bottom of the sink. There are many different items in pet stores that are dedicated to such cleaning operations. 3. Maintain water quality. Check the water pH continuously and try to detect any other chemical defects. Keep chemotherapy materials on hand if you need to treat water. 4. Circulate the water. Change 10 to 15% of the tank's water every week. Don't fish out of the tank while changing water. This will strain the fish. Treat new water before adding it to the sink. Use a siphon to add fresh water slowly. While you're changing the water, be sure to put the new water in a bucket that you don't use for any other purpose in the house. This is because detergents pose a major risk to fish health. The bucket was used in testing and treating water as mentioned before adding it to the tank. Part 4. Dealing with diseases. 1. Monitor the fish for any signs of illness. Be very careful to check the tank for any indications of the disease, because most fish diseases are very contagious. Take precautions if you notice that fish, his body rubbed into things inside the sink. His color faded or appeared on his body, any spots or changes in color. Its fins or gills looked chewed. He suffers from severe idle movement. Its fins stick to its body. Suffers from bloating. Panting on the surface of the water, much of the fin or tail lost. 2. Keep an additional quarantine basin. It is helpful to have a small aquarium to separate diseased fish and to prevent the spread of the disease. Do not return sick fish to the basin until you can diagnose and treat disease that affected the fish. 3. Visit the pet store. Most fish diseases can be treated with antibiotics and antifungals available in stores. If you fail to determine the cause of the disease, consult the workers in these stores so they can help you. 4. Clean the sink. Do everything you can to maintain healthy pelvic conditions to prevent the disease from spreading. Clean leftovers, check acidity continuously, and change water continuously. The things you'll need: 1. A suitable sized basin. 2. Food. 3. Filter. 4. Heater, for tropical fish. 5. A source of air bubbles. 6. Fish. 7. Network. 8. Comment, subscribe and activate the bell to receive all new and information about your favorite animal.